Welcome to Easy A Homeschool Academy.
Let's learn about America's road to independence. The American Revolutionary War, also known as the American Revolution, began when 13 British colonies in North America revolted against Great Britain, protesting direct taxation and lack of representation. The conflict erupted on April 19, 1775, with the first battle in Lexington, Massachusetts. Originally a dispute between Britain and its colonies, it escalated into a global war when France became an ally to the colonies. What started the war? Before the outbreak of the American Revolutionary War, tensions had been escalating between the British Crown and its colonies. To increase revenue from the colonies, Britain implemented several measures. The Sugaract of 1764 was introduced to curb the smuggling of sugar and molasses from the French and Dutch West Indies. The following year, the Stamp Act marked the first attempt by the British Parliament to generate revenue through direct taxation on colonial, commercial, and legal documents, including newspapers, pamphlets, cards, almanacs, and dice. 2 years later, the British government passed the Townshend Act, a series of 4 laws aimed at asserting control over the American colonies. 6 years after that, the Tea Act was introduced to rescue the struggling East India Company, a crucial part of Britain's economy. These measures sparked widespread anger among the colonists, who argued that only their own colonial assemblies had the right to levy taxes on them. This led to the rallying cry, "No taxation without representation." Tensions and conflicts escalated through several key events, including the Boston Massacre, the burning of the Gaspee in Rhode Island, and especially the Bostonteaparty in 1773. This act of rebellion led the British Parliament to retaliate by closing Boston Harbor and passing laws to restore order in Massachusetts. In response, colonial leaders like George Washington, John and Samuel Adams, Patrick Henry, and John Jay gathered in Philadelphia in September 1774 for the First Continental Congress to address these opposition to British rule, though they stopped short of seeking full independence. Tensions finally erupted on the night of April 18, 1775, when British troops marched to Concord, Massachusetts to seize colonial arms. The next day's clashes at Lexington and Concord, often referred to as the Shot Heard Round the World, marked the beginning of the American Revolutionary War. In June 1775, the Continental Army was established by the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia, with General George Washington appointed as its commander. That same month, American forces suffered a defeat at the Battle of Bunker Hill in Massachusetts. Although the British won the battle, they incurred significant casualties, which bolstered the morale and confidence of the inexperienced American troops for future engagements. However, throughout the fall and winter, the war took a turn for the worse for the Americans, as they faced superior numbers and strength from the British forces. After the siege of Boston, which ended in March 1776 with the British evacuation, the American forces gained a significant early victory. Meanwhile, an attempted invasion of Canada by the Americans, aimed at rallying Canadian support for the Revolution, ended in failure after a defeat at the Battle of Quebec in December 1775. Despite these mixed outcomes, momentum was building toward the formal Declaration of Independence, which would come just months later in July 1776. The last major battle of the American Revolutionary War occurred at Yorktown, Virginia in 1781. General Washington and French commander joined forces, assembling around 14,000 soldiers and 36 French warships for an assault on British forces. surrounded and outmatched by American and French troops on land and sea, General Cornwallis and his army were forced to surrender on October 19, 1781. Despite the victory in Yorktown, British troops remained in certain areas until they withdrew from Charleston and Savannah in late 1782. The war officially ended with the Treaty of Paris on September 3, 1783, when Britain officially recognized American independence. The Revolutionary War is significant as it led to the creation of the United States, the first nation to overthrow a hierarchical monarchy and establish a democracy. It marked the beginning of a new era in the Americas and set the stage for democratic movements in Europe, influencing the course of world history.
As always, thank you for watching. Tell us what you want to see next. Email ezahomeschoolacademy@yahoo.com. Like and share our videos. Please subscribe to our channel.